And we're live. That was really loud, probably. Let me run the test to see if I'm still doxing myself. I'm pretty sure it's fixed. And we're live. So awesome. I think it's fixed. Okay. First things first, some housekeeping items. Now that that's fixed, as I just stated, yes, I've been procrastinating, but I am going to write this paper eventually. Maybe I'll start it this week. This weekend's going to be tough. I'm going to be busy. But it's going to be good. You know how when Wooza said cozy.tv 50,000 times? This is basically what I'm doing, just a little classier and more Nick speed. So it's going to be good. So yeah, that's that. Roe v. Wade looks like it's going to be overturned, so that's good. Women coping and seething all over the TL today. Scanning the scene, scanning the battleground, and it's looking like a total baby victory on all fronts. The babies will have their revenge. No more bloodlust against the unborn. So that's a big white pill. That's actually a really, really big white pill. Because that's the fact that the United States has been participating in abortion for so long. That's just a major insult to God. But hopefully we're doing away with that, and we can go after gay marriage and sodomy and all that nasty stuff. So, big things popping and little things stopping, as they say. And I guess for more minor news, it turns out UX, Mr. Computer Boy himself, computer nigga, he was counter-signaling football yesterday in Veda's stream, and me and him went back and forth for like 10 seconds. It was very disappointing to see. I feel like UX is one of those people that conflate the stigma. This is something I've explained many times. The stigma that comes with sports, like the culture around it and the worship about it, like that's all gay and everything. While disregarding all the benefits and all that sports can provide. He was saying he'd rather play soccer than football or gay ball, I think he eloquently called it. And that's another thing that I can't fathom either. He's saying playing soccer would be a more heterosexual activity than football. I think soccer is universally accepted as the gayest male sport in the world. I just read Nick's telegram. Oh yeah, there it is. So true. Abortion killed more than the Holocaust? ? Who knows? Yeah, soccer, the whole time, it's just 60 minutes of prancing around, faking injuries. It's just cardio. You could just run on a treadmill and like attach a ball to it and just kick it. That's pretty gay. Whereas in the NFL, it's like, besides actual fighting, like MMA and the UFC, the organization. Let me just make sure my audio is working. Yeah, it looks like it. Football's like the closest thing to like gladiators and stuff like that. It's like one of the most manliest things you can do. You may say I'm being a sports simp for that kind of take. And that's something that can be explored further. But to simply say, like UX did, that playing football would be gayer than playing soccer, you're either trolling me, or I have to question your masculinity and your T levels, your testosterone. Very sus thing to say, UX. So yeah, add UX to the list of detractors and haters. Very disappointing to see. But that's okay. It's nothing personal. He's one of many that need to be reformed and sent to sports re-education camps. So maybe one day. But for what I wanted to go over is I'm only doing this because I made a video on this, feels like a month ago or so, about Brittney Griner, the tall African-American WNBA player that was... The long and short of it is that WNBA players play overseas in their off-season to make more money. I guess Brittney Griner plays in Russia. Russia is in a war at the moment, and heightened security, more, everything's being like scrutinized more, yada yada yada. Brittney Griner enters a Russian airport with marijuana on her, which is illegal in Russia. She gets arrested. So that's basically it. Russia's been pretty loose-lipped about the more specific details about it, but those are the details that they divulged, the ones I just mentioned. But more news came out today, and I guess this is like diplomacy jargon, because I didn't know this was a thing, but this is pretty interesting. The U.S. This is ESPN, by the way. It's been on the front page all day, because this is very important to them. The U.S. reclassifies WNBA star Brittney Griner as, quote, wrongfully detained by Russia. I didn't read this article and I didn't watch this video. I watched like 10 seconds and I started laughing, so I stopped to save it for this. But apparently that term, wrongfully detained, it is meaningful in terms of, I guess, general diplomacy. The U.S. can either view Brittney Griner as like like rightfully arrested, I guess, and subject to Russian law and consequences or whatever. I'm sure there's a term for it. Or they can view the aggrieved, whatever, as, quote, wrongfully detained. And apparently that changes everything. So let's get into it. TJ Quinn. Let's see. The U.S. government now considers WNBA star Brittney Griner to be, quote, wrongfully detained by the Russian government. Actually, what am I doing? I wanted to watch this video. If this gets, like, copyrighted, I'm going to be furious. This is on ESPN. Everyone can see it. You know what? Is this a problem? Whatever. If it is, I'll just cut it out.
We continue to be working diligently on bringing Brittney Griner home. This is an unimaginable situation for BG to be in.
Yeah, so that's as far as I watched it. So first she's like stuttering all over herself. and she has a league-wide nickname, BG. That just goes to show you that their relationship is more intimate, and they have nicknames for each other. I've never heard anyone call Brittney Griner BG. I'm not super into the WNBA, but I feel like I would have heard it more than once.
She continues to have our full support, and she's just been such a great person in the league that I can't be any more real about the situation she's in.
Yeah, that's a lie. I watched up to this part when she said I couldn't be any more real about this. That's when I smiled and let more air out of my nose. Yeah, as we all understand, we're in dire straits here. The Russian oligarchy has arrested America's strongest soldier, and she needs our help.
Certainly, we're trying everything we can, every angle, working through with her legal representation, her agent, elected leaders, the administration, just everybody in our ecosystem to try and find ways to get her home safely and as quickly as we can. This continues to be complex, and obviously we're getting a ton of support from the government, from specialists, from in her representation.
Yeah, and just watching that, I think the thing that most normal people would think of seeing that is it sounds like this is something I read earlier today, and it sounds like she's confirming it that the WNBA, and I'm assuming this is like the commissioner or something, they're in contact with like the State Department and government officials, etc., etc. Sparing no expense and exhausting all resources in order to extract Brittney Griner from Russia and quickly and safely bring her back home. And the thing that comes to mind is the January 6th literal political prisoners in this country. Judges can't be bothered, government officials can't be bothered, CIA, FBI, Joe Brandon. No one can be bothered to do the right thing and dismiss all charges, most charges, I should say. Let these people go, compensate them for damages, stuff like that. Make do with these people who were let in by, Capitol Police into the Capitol, who, 90% of them did no wrong. Our country shits on those people, and whereas you have Brittney Griner, someone who broke the law in another country, and therefore I think everyone can agree that she should be subject to the consequences and laws of that country. Now our United States State Department is working with leagues, working with lawyers, working with whoever else to get this one law-breaking lesbian back into the country quickly and safely. Yeah, I just hear that and I think about that, and it doesn't make me happy, but I try and think of the good things, like today with Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. So I guess we gotta balance everything out.
Are able to visit with Brittney. We know she's safe, but we want to get her home. So it's
all right. She says she's safe, and that's the other thing too. Since all our country does is lie about Russia, I haven't heard anything said about this, but typically one would be led to believe that Russia is, they got Brittney Griner like 100 feet underground in some like solitary confinement prison where they feed her like mouse poop to eat and toilet bowl water to drink. Solitary confinement, 23 hours a day. They would lead you to think they're treating Brittney Griner how they're actually treating January 6th prisoners, but it sounds like they're just like holding Brittney Griner. She's probably just at some like 1-2 story facility with windows. She probably gets to walk around all day or whatever, watch TV. I was gonna say read books, but that's probably not happening. Yeah, they're probably just like holding her on like some kind of house arrest, if I had to guess. Um, that just goes on to say that the United States is truly the great Satan. Not only because they harass and meddle with everyone else in the world, but they ruin the lives and literally kill their own citizens. Very, very unfortunate.
It's just a very complex situation right now, and we're following the advice. There's not a day that goes by that we're not talking to someone who has views on what we've been doing and how we're moving forward. I know we're all frustrated.
Sorry to keep interrupting, but she keeps saying stuff that makes me mad. She's getting day to day, and I'm just taking her at her word. But they're getting day to day updates with this criminal and her criminal act overseas. They're getting day to day updates, and she's in a country that's at war right now, and probably can't be bothered with some insignificant nonsense like this. Yet the our the United States Women's National Basketball Association is receiving updates every day from our United States State Department about this. Um, the government cares more about sports than I do. It's just so insane to me. Whatever.
But we do need to be patient, and I know the players have been amazing at following the advice that they're getting and we're getting in order not to jeopardize her safety in any way. So we just continue to continue
Yeah, that's right. Don't say anything that you're going to regret. Don't piss Putin off.
to follow that advice and continue to work on it. I told the players, quite frankly, I used to tell my daughter when she was little, and still now that she's in her 20s, like, I would go to the end of the earth to help you if you're ever in trouble. And I say the same thing about Brittney Griner. It's really important to me that we get her home safely, but as soon as we possibly can.
Okay. Damn it, what was I going to say? Oh, and another thing, probably why the WNBA is collaborating so heavily with the State Department, whatever, to get something resolved, get this resolved, is because Brittney Griner is their unicorn. That's their LeBron James. That's their golden goose, if you will. And you thought that the WNBA had no demand, no viewership before. Could you imagine them resuming their season? They start in the summer, I think. Could you imagine them having their season without their dominant league star that actually most sports people have at least heard the name before? So this is there is a financial interest in this as well. This isn't some big humanitarian crisis that they're so concerned about. This woman is just trying to, social posturing, and it affects her wallet. So keep that in mind. But yeah, let's get into the article. Yeah, let's see. Anyone here? BJ. Wonder how she got Did I say BJ? I meant BG. Yeah, I don't think this doxes me. But dude guy, the blank. Thanks for popping in. BJ, wonder how she got that one. Let's see. No, it's not unfortunate. She is a lesbian. So, unfortunately, that... Did I spell that wrong? Unfortunately, I may have misspoken. It's BG. As in... basketball groiper. Happy face. Yes, happy to see you as well. But yeah, let's read. The U.S. government now considers WNBA star Brittney Griner to be wrongfully detained by the Russian government, signaling a significant shift in how officials will try to get her home. Quote, the welfare and safety of U.S. citizens abroad is among the highest priorities of the U.S. government, the State Department said. The Department of State has determined that the Russian Federation has wrongfully detained U.S. citizen Brittney Griner. That is like heavily charged verbiage. So like, and this is a legitimate, like me thinking out loud question. So, what does the United States do when they have determined a foreign country has wrongfully detained a U.S. citizen? Is that a provocation of war, perhaps? I put something. I think my title was very clickbait on purpose because that was something I was thinking about. But yeah, this has gone on for I feel like close to 2 months. So I'm not sure what changed in the situation where they determined where the situation seems pretty cut and dry before, where she just got arrested for having pot, and now all of a sudden this is an international crisis where Putin is holding American citizens hostage. I'd be very curious to know what changed. This better not play. Freaking ads. The U.S. government will continue to undertake efforts to provide appropriate support to Ms. Griner. The officials and other sources close to Griner's case declined to say what led to the Oh, I'm so smart. I'm literally prophetizing the article before I read it. And that's not a lie. I actually didn't read the article. So they declined to say what led to the shift or whether there have been any discussions about what it would take to secure her release. Putin should say, can you imagine if he said, if you free all of the Jan 6th detainees in your country, I'll send Brittney Griner back with a bow on top. That'd be pretty cool. Quote, Brittney has been, 75 days. Brittney has been detained for 75 days, and our expectation is that the White House do whatever is necessary to bring her home, Griner's agent Lindsay Kagawa Colas said in a statement to ESPN on Tuesday. I know lawyers are supposed to talk like that. People were saying like Zelensky is supposed to call for a no-fly zone or whatever. I think Destiny said that, even though that would provoke a world war. But he's supposed to say it even though he knows countries are going to say no because it would be a world war. But his people, it needs to look like he's trying to do everything for his people or whatever. So it's kind of the same here. Our expectation is that the White House do whatever is necessary to bring her home. What does that mean? Whatever necessary. World War III over a player. Yeah, exactly. And like this goes back to what I'm saying. Our expectation is that the White House do whatever is necessary to bring her home. That is very like what's the word? Very ambiguous. That's one of the words, but it has very sinister undertones. Um, I mean, you can use your imagination and have fun with that one, but yeah, that's pretty effed up. It's not that big a deal, everyone. She broke Russian law. She got arrested. That should be it. 75 days. It's not even been like a long time, basically. Like everyone, hold their horses. It's not even a big deal yet. The change in official designation means that the U.S. government will no longer wait for Griner's case to play out through the Russian legal system and will seek to negotiate her return. It also means that Griner's fellow WNBA players and supporters in Congress will be told they have the family's blessing to bring as much attention to her case as they wish. Yeah, this is like really super like fucked up. Because of the hypocrisy of it, not her case. I could care less. Yeah, play out through the Russian legal system, and so they're gonna try and bypass and disregard, Russian Russian sovereignty and their control over their legal system. Um, I'm sure if it was any Russian Joe Schmo in the airport with dope on him, they'd be subject to the same repercussions that anyone else would, whether it be me, or I don't know, some guy from Europe, or an Australian, or an African, or in this case, a 6'8" lesbian. Um, I get the feeling that unlike the U.S., Russia isn't I was gonna say selective in their application of justice, but Putin's a cool gangster and he can do that because his country actually runs smoothly and it works. So yeah, maybe I won't take that to its logical conclusion, but yeah, moving on. Yeah, that they have her blessing to bring as much attention to the case as they wish. If only it were the same for Jan 6th. Such a travesty that this is going on. I hope they don't hear about this because that'd be so demoralizing in addition to everything else they had to deal with. That the U.S. is now bending over backwards to secure this actual lawbreaker when these people just rot in jail. Very sad. We feel really good about it, a source close to Griner told ESPN, but we also know it can drag out, so we don't want to get our hopes too high. Yeah, and like the thing is, me and everyone else basically are indifferent about this. She broke the law, got arrested. You do the crime, do the time, and that's it. Why are we getting so invested in this? Our State Department is getting invested in this. Like, what's the big freaking deal? What's the big friggin' deal here? Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. A source close to Griner also confirmed Monday that former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Bill Richardson, who has worked privately for years as an international hostage negotiator, agreed to work on Griner's case last week. Experts have said Richardson's involvement would be a crucial sign that her case has moved into a new realm. This just the shoe's on the other foot now. Now I'm the one that's seething. They brought on an expert, veteran, international hostage negotiator to negotiate with a country balls deep in a war right now to try and get a WNBA player back into our country. This is so like dystopian. Could you imagine if our government gave half a shit like about anything else like as they're doing here? Like, can you imagine how much better the country would be? It's only been 75 days. She's fine. She goes there for work. She goes there to make money. She's gonna be making money sooner rather than later. Like, she's fine. This is just, they're writing these articles and they're doing this to demoralize the right wing sports fans to never wanting to consume sports content again. This is just like politically and sports wise. This article is just such a gut punch to me. It's really rough. Just let that sink in. The international hostage negotiator. They could snap their fingers and arrest all the Jan 6 people, put Nick on a terrorist watch list and make it that he can't fly on a plane. But at the drop of a hat, something allegedly changes, and the expert United States expert international hostage negotiator is on the case, trying to extract someone who actually like broke the law. This is like the Twilight Zone or something. So crazy. Until now, Griner's personal team had followed State Department advice to keep a low profile, so as not. Shouldn't it be so as to not? Whatever. Probably doesn't make a difference. So as not to make her a more valuable. Oh man. Oh god. That's the best part. That's the best part of this article. So not only does it just reinforce our government's gayness that they're working so closely with this situation, but they'd advised her to keep a low profile so as to not make her a more valuable asset to Vladimir Putin's government. Do you think? I don't honestly. I don't even know anymore. In a normal, sane world, do you think Vladimir Putin? He probably didn't even hear about this for like once Griner got arrested. He probably didn't hear about it until like after a week or so, just because of so like inconsequential it was. But could you imagine Vladimir Putin rubbing his hands together, like? Oh man, if the United States keeps provoking us and defaming us in national media and keeps aiding Ukraine, well, little do they know that we're waterboarding and torturing their most famous lesbian, athletic lesbian, and we actually, whatever, hypothetical situations, whatever. So, I'm at a loss for words. To make her a more valuable asset, what? Implying that she is already some kind of asset to the United States? And there's like some bartering and negotiating that's going to have to be done about this hot commodity in our WNBA athletes. The delusion, the absolute delusion to think that Russia is viewing Brittney Griner as some kind of trading chip with the United States. I mean, normally you would think that's crazy, but the fact that the United States holds Brittney Griner for some reason in such high regard that maybe Putin will just be like, yeah, fuck it. Like, you want Brittney Griner back? You're going to have to do X, Y, and Z for me. And, the United States is going to shit their pants. Like, oh no, we have to quietly cave in so we can get have a WNBA season. Oy vey. That's just fantastic. Deep State when it realizes that Russia has its strongest lesbian. It's like that line in Marvel check. I'm about to go Marvel mode on you nibbas. Who says that when Earth lost its strongest soldier and everyone like freaks out? That's the United States State Department right now. They found out Brittney Griner got arrested for marijuana at Russia, and someone quietly and solemnly states to the round table, the United States just lost its strongest lesbian. And everyone just kind of nods their head and like stares at the table. You could hear a mouse fart in there. This is just so fantastical and sensational to me in the rhetoric they're using. Now it's more of a white pill again. All right, I'll continue reading. I'm not going to make this video long, but I'm glad they put that in the article because that is hilarious. Reached late Monday, a State Department official sent ESPN a statement saying, quote, the Department of State has determined that the Russian Federation has wrongfully detained U.S. citizen Brittney Griner. With this determination, the Special Presidential Envoy for Hostage Affairs, Roger Carstens, will lead the interagency team for securing Brittney Griner's release. Yeah, so I mean, I say that's a lot about trying not to beat a dead horse, but just look at all the leaps and bounds they're taking and everyone they're getting involved. They have this hostage negotiator from above. They have now the Special Presidential Envoy for Hostage Affairs person on the case for someone who broke the law and is paying the consequences that are probably minor. Whereas, all the shit I stated before that the United States government does to its own citizens. Now I'm black-pilled again. What a roller coaster of an article this is. Ooh, this looks funny. The official said that does not mean that Griner is considered a hostage, which is a different legal classification than wrongful detainee. Okay, that does clear some things up. It probably would be funnier if they considered her a hostage. But like, what's even the point of being a wrongful detainee then? They're doing that because, well, they want to get her home. Like, I'm trying to rationalize this in my head. If they're gonna try and negotiate and try and get her home, what's the point in not viewing her as a hostage at that point? Isn't this just like a more positive, like, connotation of hostage? They say hostage. Oh no, that sounds too harsh. We're gonna go with wrongful detainee. Maybe I'm just retarded and it's not. They're not similar, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Sources close to Griner said they were not told why she was reclassified, but they were informed Saturday morning that her case had been moved to the Special Envoy's office. Yeah, I guess that's the big question here. Why this case was reclassified. Not that it's a big deal or anything, but I think that seems like the question this is all revolving around. Now that our tax dollars are going towards the search and rescue of Brittney Griner from Russia. Let's see. Okay, it's not much longer. Until this past weekend, her case had been handled by the Consular Office, which monitors the cases of any American being held abroad without necessarily intervening. State Department officials notified appropriate congressional committees of the change Monday. Yeah, I'm very curious what changed. It has been 75 days that our friend, teammate, sister, Brittney Griner, has been wrongfully detained in Russia. This is a quote. It is time for her to come home. Nineka Ogwumike, the president of the WNBA Players Union, said in a statement posted to social media. Quote, having learned that the U.S. government has now determined that PG is being wrongfully detained, we are hopeful that their efforts will be significant, swift, and successful. Yeah, you should only be so lucky, wouldn't you? How did we get here, man? Hey, man, how did we get here? Where our government bends over backwards for these people and just literally murders its own citizens. Griner's team became optimistic about her fate last week with the release of former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed, who had been held in Russia since 2019. I haven't heard of that. That's interesting. But not sports related, so I probably won't cover it. But that's good, I guess, that we got someone back. I hope they keep Brittney Griner, though. Reed was essentially swapped for a Russian citizen who had been convicted of drug smuggling. The deal was a signal that, despite Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, there remains an open diplomatic channel between U.S. and Russian officials. Wow, could you imagine that? This makes it sound like, despite all the obstacles and obvious world issues going on with like the war and inflation and X, Y, and Z, they've managed to keep this diplomatic channel between U.S. and Russia. That's good. Diplomacy and negotiating is always good. But they're using this channel now. So they used it for something good before. They bring a U.S. Marine home. But now this channel, this sacred channel, is being used to negotiate the release of a pothead. A basketball-playing gay pothead. Like I said, we are so grateful to our government for having our best interests at heart. Let's see. Richardson was active in securing Reed's release. Another American, Paul Whelan, remains in Russian detention after more than 2 years. I wonder what these people did. If anything, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll look it up. Not on stream, though. Escape from Moscow. Yeah, he's been in a couple of those escape movies. Big Trouble in Little China. That one with like the portal. Yeah, that would be a step down for Kurt Russell, though. He would be furious if they asked him that. That would be humiliation. He would never agree to that. Kurt Russell, isn't Kurt Russell like actually like based? Am I mistaking him for someone else? I think he's actually like a cool guy, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that'll never happen, thankfully. Griner, who plays during the WNBA offseason for a Russian team, yeah, I mentioned that, was arrested in February at a Moscow area airport while entering the country. Russian prosecutors said she illegally brought vape cartridges containing hashish oil. That's the politically correct way of saying she was trying to smuggle marijuana into the country. Griner has not been formally charged, but she is scheduled to have a hearing on May 19th. That's like 2 weeks away. Things are fine. She's fine. The fact that the U.S. government now considers Griner to be a wrongful detainee does not mean Russia will change its official stance on her detainment, but it does mean that the U.S. considers the legal proceedings to be irrelevant to her case. So the U.S. just continues to poke the Russian bear, so to speak. I mean, Russia probably doesn't care that this is going on. The U.S. can say that they now consider Brittney Griner a wrongful detainee or whatever, all they want. But I'm sure this is on the bottom of Putin's stack of papers. He's dealing with a war. He's negotiating for the Russian economy. I'm hearing things about, and Nick mentions this, and Vince mentioned this about like the ruble and stuff like that. How they control like all of like Germany's energy and like stuff like that. So yeah, Putin's probably a little busy to be concerned with this this nonsense. But I mean, I guess it remains to be seen if the U.S. will continue to poke the bear and try and, I don't know. This is just crazy. Like your chat. Can you imagine just like a SEAL 6 team being deployed to Russia in like the dark of night, trying to extract Brittney Griner? I wouldn't put it past our government to do that. Just because everyone seems to be like so brainwashed at this point, they might think that to be like a noble deed. The WNBA on Tuesday said it would keep Griner, quote, at the forefront of what we do this season with a floor decal on the home court sideline of all 12 teams. The decal will feature Griner's initials along with number 42. She's not dead, is she? I'm pretty sure up above in the article she was fine, basically, right? What is with this memorialization they're doing? She's not dead. She's fine. Like, what is this? Whatever. We just want her home. I'm glad that they are trying to do something, New York Liberty coach Sandy Brondello, who previously coached Griner in Phoenix, told reporters. They had that prisoner release last week that gave me hope that BG would be one of the next ones out. I can't imagine what she's going through. Hopefully she'll be out sooner than later. Yeah, this article sucks. The United States State Department, they mock us, they laugh at us. They say, hey, you were in the Capitol because the Capitol Police opened the rope and let you in. F you. You're going to jail, and now we're going to allocate all our resources to get Brittney Griner back from Russia. Like I said, Russia is so preoccupied right now. If I were a betting man, I would bet that Brittney Griner is living... I would equate her situation probably similar to something like house arrest right now. I'm sure she's doing fine. So, that's going to be it for that. I think Stallone... Yeah, Clint Eastwood definitely is. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I'll just schmooze it up with anyone who's still here in the chat for a little. But Stallone, I'm not sure. I haven't heard too much about him politically. Clint Eastwood definitely is. Hollywood's just waiting for that guy to die because they hate him so much. Hasn't their economy pretty much bounced back from the initial sanctions? I'm no geopolitical expert. I'd recommend watching Vince or Nick for that, but from the way everything I read on the internet and stuff and everything I hear people saying, like I mentioned Germany, and I'm sure there's other countries that are almost like totally energy dependent on Russia. Like Russia's not doing transactions or whatever unless countries are willing to transact in the ruble. Um, that's got to mean something. And don't come to me for like these geopolitical questions. I can't explain it like someone else would be able to, but I just know what I read and hear. From reputable sources, of course. I'm not regurgitating state propaganda. But yeah, NT. That's hello NT. That's a Akashic Groiper, if I'm not mistaken. Hello again. Um, I think I fixed my self-doxing issue. If you're still here, I'm pretty sure it's not in my video description anymore. I checked earlier, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gone. Yeah, I started my paper just like I did it. Oh, did I accidentally zoom in? How do I unzoom in? Control minus, shift minus. You gotta be kidding me. Whatever. But yeah, here's my blank canvas. Yeah, I put the date May 1st. That's when I did this, and then I haven't written anything. Um, but yeah, definitely gonna start this soon. Um, yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm going to do it right and put good effort into it. But yeah, I'm gonna say hello. Hello. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. End of the stream. Thank you all, two of you, for stopping by. I appreciate the support and the viewership. Tell your friends. And yeah, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. I guess NT, you're in Australia. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.